Guys, have you believed in this harmful lie? Just be a man, and you suppress your emotions, thinking it's the manly thing to do, even though you're suffering inside. Well, today we're going to talk about how destructive it is and how to heal it. All right, and hi, if you're new here, I'm Cahir. I'm here to take you one step closer to self-love. Now, this is a hot dog video, so we talk in the YouTube world, that take another creator's video and we expand on it. This is a huge topic, and I think more voices on this topic is important. So this video was inspired by this guy called Chumpump Balls. um, and he thought, and this is kind of a homage to him. I probably won't do this all the time, but he's this really cool guy. He has a video game in the background, and this will be easier for me because I can just read off my script. Okay, so I'm just of course gonna give my own spin on things because I've dealt with this destructive belief of just be a man and how it's perpetuated our culture. All right, so let's start. Um, so my favorite RPG class has always been the Paladin because it embodies strength, discipline, and endurance. And this is what we look up as men, right? As masculine. That's what true masculinity is. We're powerful. We're disciplined. We can, and even in the outer worlds too. The background footage here. This is my guy, and got melee build, heavy armor. I'm specking in melee weapons, speech, charisma, medicine. um, and on the face of it, this is beautiful, right? That every guy wants to be powerful and working on his dreams and all this. And I'm not knocking on it. I'll never knock on it because I think those are really good traits to have. However, modern culture has corrupted the archetype of masculinity, turning true strength into emotional silence and stoic numbness. And this is where it becomes a danger, right? That oh, I'm feeling bad. I'm feeling bad. I shouldn't be feeling bad. I need to be a man. I need to be a man, ignore my feelings and just keep pushing through. Right? What did Winston Churchill say that oh, if you're going through hell, just keep walking or something like that. And and we look at it, be like, oh yeah, he's a man. He's feeling down, and he's just powering through. But if we're ignoring our emotions are telling us something. They're our guidance system to be like, hey, something's wrong here. Let's work on it. But as men, we're told, no, no, no. Don't listen to these pesky little emotions. Like don't listen to them. So, um, in the video he talks about like how a boy scrapes his knee. He's told like, "Oh, don't cry, be a man." And I want to talk about um so my experience about hearing this the first time a relative told me, "Boys don't cry." This is I was maybe like 5 or 6 years old, and I remember crying for some reason, and she was um my grandma's sister. And she was basically like my grandma growing up in the States because my other grandma, the like my paternal grandma was off working most of the time in a different state. So this is when I spent a lot of time. And that was the first time I remember um she just looked at me with like disdain when I was crying, like, chłopaki nie płaczą, which is a movie in Poland, by the way. Like boys don't cry. And this is the first toxic lesson us guys that emotional pain is unacceptable. Right? You're suffering, like shut the fuck up, man up. Like you're suffering inside. What are you, a pussy? What are you, a beta? And bro, that is so destructive. Because it eats at you. It eats inside of you. And the Dr. K talks about this, healthy gamer. link in the description, not affiliate yet, knock on wood. Um, and this is what we worked on in Healthy Gamer therapy. That was first accepting our emotions. The first couple of sessions is like, oh, I'm feeling this way, but I shouldn't be feeling this way. But bro, you are feeling this way. Your emotions are telling you something. Listen to them, process them. And I know, of course, easier said than done. That's why I recommend group therapy because that was the best thing for me, seeing that other people were struggling and having the same challenges that I was having, and we were working on it together and being vulnerable and accepting like I'm having this emotion, I'm having emotional pain, and it's okay. It's okay. Let's deal with it. It's it's like a for me like a paladin. Like I have lay on hands and I'm like severely wounded. But I'm not I refuse to cast lay on hands for myself because it's manly to be low HP. How you know how insane it sounds? Society tells men that showing vulnerability is unattractive, forcing us to hide our genuine feelings behind a mask. Whew, yeah. I just most of my life I remember if I was feeling bad, I would like put on a smile, be like, yeah, everything's fine. Yeah, I'm fine. This could be also culturally like American, I think. Where it's like you're just like, how are you? I'm fine. Even though like I'm feeling like shit, I'm fine. And it's opposed to Polish culture where they'll just tell you like, oh yeah, no, everything fucking sucks. Like, so I had those two wolves inside of me. Um, and it really sucks because being vulnerable and opening up, that's what helps you process the emotions because shame isolates us and it keeps us from looking at those emotions. I'm ashamed of what I'm feeling right now. And so I'm going to suppress it. I'm not going to deal with it. I'm going to suppress it. And it's going to grow, it's going to fester, and it's going to manifest in different negative coping mechanisms. It could be, for me, it was this distraction, like distracting myself from my feelings. That's my freeze response, watching YouTube videos. In my early 20s, it was Counter-Strike. I would just play for hours, just avoiding my feelings. And and then, then you don't deal with it. And then the problem gets bigger, and you're like, oh man, I'm such a bitch. It's like this endless cycle, man. Right? Yeah, these ignored emotions, they don't just vanish. Like they grow. They can manifest in different ways too. It's like rage, depression, addiction. And then we focus on fixing those problems. Like, oh, I have a YouTube problem. I need to stop watching YouTube, which is, yes, okay, do that as well. But look at the mind, right? What's causing the problem? The mind is causing the problem, the belief systems, the avoided emotions, right? Because if you just fix the YouTube problem, whatever it is, you're putting a band-aid on a festering wound. You need surgery or you need magic. You need laying on hands, man. Because I spent my early 20s turning against myself, using self-hate and aggressive mental beratement as a twisted mechanism for self-improvement. Yeah, um, I felt like I needed to be super hard on myself, super mean to myself, because that's all I knew. That was what's familiar to me. Oh, you have a challenge? Well, fuck you. Character assassination, character assassination. You're weak. You're a dumb bitch. Like, no, 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 I'm not. I'm not. And and that fighting, and that was all I knew. It was like I was fighting against my negative beliefs instead of just looking at them with love. Like, okay, let's heal this. Let's process these emotions. They're not whatever bullshit lie you're telling yourself that you're weak or a bitch, whatever. It's not true, but you're feeling these feelings. Let's process them. Let's talk to people that are emotionally healthy about it and let's deal with it. Honestly. And I know it sounds simple, but we need to rewire our brains, guys. Because this if I would go back in time, I'll just tell my early 20s self like, stop torturing yourself. And like Who in the right mind would torture themselves mentally? Well, someone that's in the wrong mind. What the Course in Miracles teaches us. Where when we believe this negative ego story that we're worthless, we're a bitch, whatever. And I know I use that as a whip. Like, oh, I need Cahir needs to get in shape. I'm going to whip him into submission. No. It's like, oh, just be a man. That's what being a man is. We suffer. We suffer through it. But how long can you suffer, bro? How long? Because lacking any nurturing or compassionate energy to balance my nervous system, I escaped into intense dopamine loops and video game distractions just to numb my mind. And from time to time, I do this when I kind of slip into the familiar. But at least I have awareness because before I wasn't aware of my negative coping mechanism and I just let it run on autopilot instead of looking with compassion because this is the cycle I was in. I get stressed, negative coping mechanism, self-beratement for falling back into the negative coping mechanism, feeling more stress, you see. And to break that cycle is unconditional positive regard. Looking at this as a need that just hasn't been met, which my need was relief. And I needed more positive ways to meet that need, to go on a walk, to stop being so hard on myself, to set myself up for success, not for failure. I had these like big, grandiose missions, and I still do, but I use that as a way to just rate myself. Like, oh, I didn't accomplish this huge goal I wanted. Oh, I'm such a bitch. Instead of being, let's, all right, what's a small victory today? What's something I could actually do today that I do it, I'll feel good about myself instead of like, oh, I need to be financially independent like right now. Why aren't you financially independent? Ah, that's a big thing for me right now. Right. And so discovering Healthy Gamer at 29 showed me that thousands of men are quietly suffering through the exact same cycle of self-destruction. Like Dr. K talks to a lot of guys on his stream, and it's because when we're dealing with this is also like be a man. I equate it to like, oh, you gotta deal with it on your own. Be a man. Be independent. Right? And that's the thing. We take something really awesome. It's like, yeah, independent, self-agency, but we pervert it into something like, oh, I need to suffer by myself. I need to deal with everything by myself. I don't want to be a burden. That's a big one for me. I don't want to be a burden with my problems. Ugh. It's like, bro, there are people that are willing to help you and that have dealt with the same shit that you're dealing with right now. That's what Healthy Gamer showed me. Our counselor, like everyone Healthy Gamer, pretty much like the good ones, the coaches, they've gone through the shit, man. They've gone through it. They got help, and now they're here to extend their hand to help others. And that's what I'm doing on this channel here, because not to come out like, oh, 100% healed, but I know I'm a million miles better than I was when I was 25, when I was 26, when I was dealing with this mental anguish. And just the knowing this, like I said, just knowing this, that there are other people that have the same challenges as you. And instead of guys, let's be a man. I need to do it by myself. No, it's okay. It's okay to ask for help and be like, I need some help. I need some help. Because we see like men take their lives a lot more. Like we have this mental health crisis, and we're asking why? Because be a man. It's like, oh, I have this emotional pain. I don't want to. I don't want to be a bother. I'm just gonna deal with my own. And sometimes, like they find a permanent solution to a temporary problem, and it sucks. And so, I encourage you guys, get help. It's okay to get help. All right. Finding a dedicated space to connect over shared insecurities. And drop the defensive facade is immensely healing. Yes. When we drop the facade, like I need to just be a man, and open up and be vulnerable and express these emotions. I express like I'm dealing with shame. I'm dealing with inadequacy. I'm dealing with these really horrendous negative beliefs. And then someone says, "No, I had those moments too, but I got better." Really healing. So whatever it could be, healthy gamer, it could be whatever. Just find a space where you could express yourself. This is the thing like you need to find a safe place where you can express your emotions 100%. And I know it could be a challenge, but there's Discord groups. You just gotta make sure that you're feeling okay. That you're feeling good, you're feeling safe, and that's what Healthy Gamer gave to me. That's in the original video. He talks about like the internet alpha philosophers who tell struggling men to simply man up, are telling a drowning person to swim harder. And that's yeah, because I feel those people that say just man up, they haven't been in the trenches. They haven't been in the trenches of the mind. They don't know the nervous system, the feelings of dread where you don't even want to do shit. They're like, oh, just man up, guys. If telling someone to man up, if that strategy would have worked, don't you think it would have worked by now? I can't tell you. For years, I said, just man up, be a man, deal with it. Never fucking worked. Maybe in the short term, but then it causes long-term problems. So is it worth it? Guys, this is what I'm trying to express because I've been in the trenches. I still have my battles. That's better. I have a support network now, and and I'm okay to express my emotions. And for people that know me, that's like, oh wow. I People said, oh, I was like like a closed book. Like, and I did feel I had like this wall of ice around my heart. It was very hard to open up. I was scared. Really, I was scared. So that's why I just learned from my upbringing. It's not okay to share that you're feeling negative. Right? Man up, boys don't cry. I know a lot of my brothers and potentially maybe sisters out there have something similar, but I know of guys, especially in this culture, it's like, you know, oh, don't you need some balls, right? Let's man up. Don't be a pussy. And that's the internet. That's the advice we get on the internet. Instead of being like, oh, it's okay to process your emotions. It's okay what you're feeling. Shaming a person for their psychological reality ignores basic human capacity and leaves them entirely trapped. Mm, yeah. Uh, it's like shaming the emotion, like, oh, don't feel your feelings. Stop it. Or what's worse, like you're bad for feeling this way, and then that becomes our own inner voice. Like I said in the beginning of Healthy Gamer, like, oh, I'm feeling this dread, but I shouldn't be feeling this way. I'm gonna keep going through my life ignoring it. And yeah, it is like you're you're sick. You have a sick mind, and you don't go to the doctor. You don't get help. And what do you think? It's just gonna get worse. And that and that, the key I think for this to heal this is taking responsibility, but not in this responsibility over your mind. And I look at what Bashar defines responsibility as the ability to respond. So when we have the desire to to give up, to go back to the negative coping mechanism, we respond differently. Say, you know what, today I'm gonna do my healthy one. I'm going to go on a walk. I'm going to journal. I'm going to do gratitude. I'm going to pray. Whatever it is for you, and to break that cycle, right? Because no one can break that cycle of despair but you. It's you. It's your mind, your consciousness that has to do it. And that's the thing that I had to learn. And it's like, no, okay, it's, when we talk about trauma or whatever, a lot of us want to shame it. It's like all of us have challenges, and instead of saying, "Oh no, I shouldn't have this challenge. I should be grateful." Like I had to tell myself like, oh, because I, I was brought up with like middle class family in the States, and I should be grateful for everything I have, and I am. Uh, Um, but I had this mental anguish, and I was putting it down. Like I shouldn't be feeling this way. I shouldn't be. I have like low self-worth. I shouldn't be. I shouldn't. That's whenever I brought it up. Like, oh, I have low self-esteem. Like, no, what? Why? No, no, you don't. Instead of being like, okay, um, and what now? If I have because it's your body, your nervous system. It feels normal to self-berate, to abandon myself. But now I have the responsibility, so I can respond differently. Like, okay, no, we don't do that. We don't do that. We don't abandon ourselves. We're not mean to ourselves. We don't tell ourselves, just be a man, right? Just because you've practiced it for a while and it feels normal doesn't mean it's healthy, right? And it actually might feel uncomfortable to talk to yourself differently. It might feel uncomfortable to actually acknowledge your emotions and process them, but over time becomes the new normal because it's healthy. It's good for you. True courage requires you to take off your armor, acknowledge your pain, and absolutely refuse to abandon yourself. And I know it could be difficult in the beginning, but the more you practice, the better it gets, guys. Okay, and I think best way to end this video is to go back to divinity, which for me it's A Course in Miracles, and this lesson, lesson 153. In my defenselessness, my safety lies. I'm going to read it from the course. You who feel threatened by this changing world, its twists of fortune, and its bitter jests, its brief relationships, and all the gifts it merely lends to take away again, attend this lesson well. The world provides no safety. It is rooted in attack, and all its gifts of seeming safety are illusory deceptions. It attacks and then attacks again. No peace of mind is possible where danger threatens thus. The world gives rise but to defensiveness, for threat brings anger. Anger makes attack seem reasonable, honesty provoked, and righteous in the name of self-defense. Yet is defensiveness a double threat, for it attests weakness and sets up a system of defense that cannot work. Now are the weak still further undermined, for there is treachery without, and still a greater treachery within. The mind is now confused, and knows not where to turn to find escape from its imaginings. It is as if a circle held it fast, wherein another circle bound it and another one in that, until escape no longer can be hoped for nor obtained. Attack, defense, defense, attack becomes the circles of the hours and the days that bind the mind in the heavy bands of steel with iron overlaid, returning but to start again. There seems to be no break nor ending in the ever-tightening grip of the imprisonment upon the mind. Like what I was saying about this endless cycle that we attack ourselves, we defend. Like, no, 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 I'm not a bitch. You are a bitch. No, no, I'm not. Defenses are the costliest of all the prices which the ego would exact. In them lies madness in a form so grim that the hope of sanity seems but to be an idle dream beyond the possible. The sense of threat that the world encourages is so much deeper and so far beyond the frenzy and the intensity of which you can conceive that you have no idea of all the devastation it has wrought. You are its slave. You know not what you do in fear of it. You do not understand how much you have been made to sacrifice, who feel its iron grip upon your heart. You do not realize what you have done to sabotage the holy peace of God by your defensiveness. For you behold the Son of God as but a victim to attack by fantasies, by dreams, by illusions he has made. Yet helpless in their presence, needful only of defense, by still more fantasies and dreams by which illusions of his safety comfort him. Defenselessness is strength. It testifies to recognition of the Christ in you. Perhaps you'll recall the text maintains that choice is always made between Christ's strength and your own weakness, seen apart from him. Defenselessness can never be attacked, because it recognizes strength so great attack is folly, or a silly game a tired child might play when he becomes too sleepy to remember what he wants. Defensiveness is weakness. It proclaims you have denied the Christ and come to fear his Father's anger. What can save you now from your delusions of an angry God whose fearful image you believe you see at work in all the evils of the world? What but illusions could defend you now, when it is but illusions that you fight? We will not play such childish games today, for our true purpose is to save the world, and we would not exchange for foolishness the endless joy our function offers us. We would not let our happiness slip by because a fragment of a senseless dream happened to cross our minds, and we mistook the figures in it for the Son of God, its tiny instant for eternity. We look past dreams today and recognize that we need no defense because we are created unassailable without all thought or wish or dream in which attack has any meaning. Now we cannot fear, for we have left all fearful thoughts behind. And in defenselessness we stand secure, serenely certain of our safety now, sense of salvation. Sure, we will fulfill our chosen purpose, as our ministry extends its holy blessing through the world. Be still a moment, and in silence think how holy is your purpose, how secure your rest, untouchable within its light. God's ministers have chosen the truth be with them. Who is holier than they? Who could be surer that his happiness is fully guaranteed? And who could be more mightily protected? What defense could possibly be needed by the ones who are among the chosen one of God, by his election and their own as well? It is the function of God's ministers to help their brothers chosen as they have done. God has elected all, but few have come to realize his will but their own. And while you fail to teach what you have learned, salvation waits, and darkness holds the world in grim imprisonment. Nor will you learn that light has come to you, and your escape has been accomplished, for you will not see the light until you offer it to all your brothers. As they take it from your hands, so will you recognize it as your own. Salvation can be taught of a game that happy children play. It was designed by one who loves his children and who would replace their fearful toys with joyous games, which teach them that the game of fear is gone. His game entrusts in happiness because there is no loser. Everyone who plays must win, and in his winning is the gain to everyone insured. The game of fear is gladly laid aside when children come to see the benefits salvation brings. You who have played that you are lost to hope, abandoned by your father, left alone in terror in the fearful world, made mad by sin and guilt, be happy now. That game is over. Now a quiet time has come in which we put away the toys of guilt and lock our quaint and childish thoughts of sin forever from the purge and holy minds of heaven's children and the Son of God. We pause but for a moment more to play our final happy game upon this earth, and then we go to take our rightful place where the truth abides and the games are meaningless. So is the story ended. Let this day bring the last chapter closer to the world, that everyone may learn the tales he reads of terrifying destiny, defeat of all his hopes, his pitiful defense against a vengeance he cannot escape, is but his own deluded fantasy. God's ministers have come to waken him from the dark dreams this story has evoked in his confused, bewildered memory of this distorted tale. God's Son can smile at last on learning that it is not true. Today we practice in a form we will maintain for quite a while. We will begin each day by giving our attention to the daily thought as long as possible. 5 minutes now becomes the least we give to preparation for a day in which salvation is the only goal we have. 10 would be better, 15 better still. And as distraction ceases to arise to turn us from our purpose, we will find that half an hour is too short a time to spend with God. Nor will we willingly give less at night and gratitude and joy. Each hour adds to our increasing peace as we remember to be faithful to the will we share with God. At times, perhaps a minute, even less, will be the most that we can offer as the hour strikes. Sometimes we will forget. At other times, the business of the world will be closed on us, and we will remember we will be unable to withdraw a little while and turn our thoughts to God. Yet when we can, we will observe our trust as ministers of God and hourly remembrance of our mission and His love. And we will quietly sit by and wait on Him and listen to His voice and learn what He would have us do the hour that is yet to come, while thanking Him for all the gifts He gave us the one gone by. In time, with practice, you will never cease to think of Him and hear His loving voice guiding your footsteps into quiet ways, where you will walk in true defenselessness, for you will know that heaven goes with you. Nor would you keep your mind away from Him a moment, even though your time is spent in offering salvation to the world. Think you He will not make this possible, for you chose to carry out His plan for the salvation of the world and yours? Today our theme is our defenselessness. We clothe ourselves in it, and we prepare to meet the day. We rise up strong in Christ, and let our weakness disappear, as we remember that His strength abides in us. We will remind ourselves that He remains beside us throughout the day, and never leaves our weakness unsupported by His strength. We call upon His strength each time we feel the threat of our defenses undermine our certainty of purpose. We'll pause a moment as He tells us, I am here. Your practicing will now begin to take earnestness of love to help you keep your mind from wandering from its intent. Be not afraid nor timid. There can be no doubt that you will reach your final goal. The ministers of God can never fail, because the love and strength and peace that shine from them to all their brothers come from Him. These are His gifts to you. Defenselessness is all you need to give Him in return. You lay aside but what was never real to look on Christ and see His sinlessness. Wow. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Remember to subscribe for more healing content like this. May the Holy Spirit light up your path where it takes you. Take care.